First off, front row left, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Zach, how helpful is it, the fact that it's like it's you and Tyreek rushing the quarterback and it's somebody that they have to worry about on both sides of the line?
Yeah, it's I've definitely noticed that my game has gotten better when Tyreek plays more, because it's you're gonna slide to you leave either of us one-on-one. We're both capable of winning the majority of our one-on-one matchups. So it's guaranteed one of us gonna get one-on-one almost all the plays, and I have all faith in him that he can get pressure on the quarterback. He got the same faith in me.
Far left, Jared Smalley, WCMH.
Hey, Zach. Michigan this season among the best teams in the country preventing teams or preventing sacks, preventing tackles for loss. You all last week not only got to the quarterback level, but you were very active with your hands, slapping balls out of the air. Was that emphasized as just another way to affect the quarterback? How does that affect you moving forward?
Yeah, that was one of our our goals for the league is to affect the quarterback, and that's something that we always have in the line room. But in the defensive meetings, we emphasized it last week. And if you can't get home, put your hand up. Coach says a batted pass is the same as a sack almost. It's usually they're down for the offense, and they gotta they're behind the chains. So something that we emphasize and we work on every day in practice.
Third row left, Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Is Zach, to not get the opportunity to play Michigan last year, you lose one of those opportunities. Does that make this game, even more important to you?
I mean, this game is as big as it can get every single year. So as much as added motivation, there's really not much. We got to play a team on North, and you got to go there and win.
And there's a lot of guys on this team who haven't played them yet because you guys didn't have a game last year. What do you maybe say to some of the younger guys to make sure they understand just how big this game is?
They know. The second you walk into the building, you know how big this game is. We train for it every single day of the off season, every single day of the year. We got this game in the back of our mind, and it's finally here. And look, guys who haven't played the game, they're excited to get a chance to go play a team up north.
Front row middle, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Zach, could you just kind of give your analysis of Michigan's defense, or Michigan's offense? What kind of challenge they pose to you guys?
It's kind of similar to last week. They're a run-heavy team. They like to stay on schedule and let play extra pass off their run game. They like to run the ball a lot, and that's something that we got to do a good job of keeping them off schedule.
You mentioned the way that Tyreek can make you better. Michigan's got two great defensive ends. I don't know. Do you study them at all? Are you familiar with them?
I mean, I know both of them. Yeah, I know both of them.
What are your impressions of them?
They're both pretty good. They're both really good players. They're 97, 8. He's a senior, and he's a big, strong, physical guy. And then David Ajobu, he's the same guy. He's a long, bendy guy. He can get around the edge. They're both good players.
Right next door, Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Zach, when the game was canceled last year, how did you process that?
It's just tough. You put in all this work in, and you don't get a chance to show it on the field. But there's COVID here, so you really can't control what's going on.
The fact that you at that point here, were you guys used to having games canceled almost?
You're not really used to ever having a game canceled. It's kind of weird. You practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's like, oh, game's canceled. So you're like, oh, well, I guess on to the next opponent. That's kind of how it was last year. It was a weird year.
Front row right, Austin Ward, Letterman Row.
Zach, what do you think is the single biggest difference in this defense from week 2 to now?
I'd say confidence. Confidence. Just keep playing better and better. We keep getting better and better, and it's guys notice that. You guys are, like I said, you play with confidence. You play so much better. You play faster. You play more physical, and you just that belief in yourself really helps you play better.
And it's sort of a weird sort of debate, right? Like you have to play better to get that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start to feel like that maybe was shifting for the whole group?
I would say I feel like we really clicked after that Tulsa game, and it was Akron was next. It was a plan. We had to go in there and felt like we had to make a statement. We had to play our best ball to that point. I feel like we did that. I feel like we've been rolling ever since.
Fourth row middle, Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Zach, you obviously considered both these schools in your recruitment. I'm curious how much you pictured this game and being on either side of it when you were deciding between the two and visiting and those other things.
Yeah, I definitely imagine playing back in high school, playing on both sides of this game. But I'm here now, and that's really all that matters. I'm a Buckeye, and we got a job to do on Saturday.
And when you visited Michigan, was it as emphasized in the recruitment as it is here?
To be honest, I don't really remember. That was 4 years ago, a long time ago.
Go deep left, Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated.
Couple things, Zach, kind of maybe building off what Matt just asked you. You made the comment that the young guys who haven't played in this rivalry yet, you said they know. How much in the recruiting process was it talked about, like, hey, this game is as big as it is?
I mean, I already knew, because I'm from here, so I know, you know, growing up, 4th, 5th grade, I knew what it was. I knew Ohio State and North. It's not a lot of love between those teams, and, you know, growing up and getting the chance to, you know, go visit there and visit here and seeing both sides of it, and you know, enrolling here and really getting a full, you know, the full grasp of what this game means to Ohio State and what this game means to everybody in this building, outside of this building, has, you know, made it that much more important to me.
You know, you use the word confidence as something that you've noticed growing on the defensive side. What is your impression of how much more confident your offense is in watching them surgically move down the field routinely?
You know, watching it every week, it's like, you know, like they just can't, you know, I feel like they can't be stopped, and that's what we feel like, you know, they feel like when we're firing on all cylinders on offense, it's a tough challenge. You know, we got a receiver room that this is the best in the country. I feel like our 3 receivers can go to the NFL right now and be a top 5 receiving core in the NFL. You know, CJ, like I said, can get the ball anywhere on the field from anywhere. Our line, I think, is the best in the country because I go against them every single day. And you know, Trey and mine, what they bring to the table, and Master Teague as well, running the ball. You know, you got to, you know, pick your poison. It feels like.
Far left, Justin Holbrook, WCMH.
You mentioned this game in 5th grade. Do you know what your first memory was about watching this team? Do you remember?
I remember I was watching with my friends on my couch. That's pretty much all I remember. I remember Team North and Ohio State playing. And I remember again watching a few years back in my other friend's basement, the game where it was like, I don't remember the score, but it was the game after the 2017. I remember that game very vividly, you know, watching it in my friend's basement, and they were all cheering and everything, and I was trying to be neutral because, you know, I was recruiting everything and didn't want to tip my hand or anything, but yeah, I remember that.
Being an Ohio guy, did you ever visualize yourself being a part of that game? And now that you're in this moment, what is that like to reflect on of having that dream and now it's almost here?
It's a dream come true, you know, growing up here and watching that game and knowing the history behind it and knowing what it means to people in Columbus, being able to go up there and play in it is a huge honor. It's something I don't take lightly.
We'll do 3rd row right, Tim May, Letterman Row.
Zach, how old are you?
20.
20. And during your lifetime, Ohio State is 17-2 in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still a big-time rivalry from your viewpoint? Explain why it's still a big-time rivalry.
It's the biggest rivalry in all the sport, I think. And, you know, explain it. You just gotta feel it. I don't know. It just is, you know. It is Ohio State team. It's one of those rivalries that always been there and always will be here. And it's our job to continue that legacy.
Right next door, Doug Maurice, Cleveland.com.
Zach, Michigan threw the ball to Donovan Edwards 10 times last week. It's kind of his biggest game to date. What did you note of that, and how do you prepare for maybe a guy coming on the backfield that's going to be part of the passing game?
You know, we get the game plan today, so we'll see what our coaches have in store for him. You know, he's a good player, and like I said, he catches the ball at the backfield very well, and that's something that we gotta pay attention to.
I think on the second play of the game last week, you dropped in coverage on Jaden Reed, like boxing him out. Can you just take us through that play? And I don't know, that seemed to be maybe an encapsulation of what kind of player you can be with your size and quickness and that kind of stuff.
I mean, I was just doing my job. You know, that was my job when I played, you know, and I feel like I tried to play my part when I was 11, and that's what I tried to do.
Did you get a shout out in film watching or anything on that one?
No, it's just one of those do your job plays, you know.
We'll do deep right, Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Zach, you're a captain and tone setter for this defense, but when you see Haskell do what he did in the skull session, or you hear that, and then you go out on the field and the first play of the game, he completely blows up behind the truck candidate running back. What does he do for your defense when he sets the tone like that from the first snap and even before then in the pregame?
It creates energy. You know, when Haskell made the play, I just felt it. Excuse me, the defensive energy just kind of took off. You know, we're celebrating on the field, having a good time, and that's when I feel like we're the best. You know, we're playing, having fun, celebrating, making plays. You know, just that's what defense is about. Defense is about energy, and that's what, you know, Haskell does a good job of bringing.
He was a bit limited there in the middle chunk of the season, whatever he was dealing with. You guys still played really well as a defense, but do you feel that he's back and fully healthy and really making an impact now, or does it feel the same as it has during this entire defensive progression? What does he do? What does he bring you guys when he's fully healthy?
Like I said, you know, he's got really good big playability. You know, like I feel like he's always got the ball in his hands somehow, and that's something that a lot of these tackles don't have. Like how do you always find your way to pick up the ball? You know, that's something that you really can't teach. Just like I said, the big playability, and that's what he brings. And like I said, a bunch of energy. You know, I love playing to Haskell because I know he's on the same page I am, and along with the rest of the D-line, the rest of the defense. You know, we have a defense that's all on the same page. And like I said, playing together, having fun, it's gonna be hard to beat.
Got time for just a couple more. Front row middle, Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
As you said before, Michigan, a very run-heavy offense. They haven't taken a lot of sacks this year, but it seems like they avoid them at a higher rate than that, just because they're not running the ball that much. So, what are you seeing on film as to why they've been able to do that, and what does that mean for you guys on Saturday?
It just means we got to get after them for more. You know, it's every week the games get bigger and bigger, and that's what Coach Day says. And, you know, big time players show up in big time games, and that's what us as a D-line we're trying to do. We're trying to impact the game and make sure we leave our footprint on the end.
It seems like they get rid of the ball fast. I mean, that's kind of their approach. And then, how do you, as a defense, how do you counter?
Like you said, you know, if we can't get home, get our hands up, passing lanes are, you know, clogging those up, closing the pockets, making them uncomfortable. Is, you know, like I said, we always want to get sacks and get to the quarterback, but quarterbacks can feel it if there's guys in the pocket and he can't just sit his feet, you know, just throw routes on air pretty much. That's what we try to avoid.
And final questions over here, far right, Clay Hall, WSYX.
I asked Coach about walking in that tunnel down to the field at the big house. Anything crazy ever happen in there for you as a freshman? You were a freshman.
Yeah, I was only there once, and it's just a good atmosphere. You know, you go in there and playing away is fun because, you know, you get to be the bad guy. You know, you hear the boos and it kind of gets you motivated, kind of get you going.
There's a little rumble in there as you were you beside them?
It's like the locker, it's like ours and theirs. So
Right, head on.
I was in the back. I was a freshman, so I really, you know, I got the backhand. They already left, and then the senior guys left. I was just kind of trailing, so I don't really have any fun stories for you. You know, locker. I wish I did.
Great, Zach. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks.